What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we resume our journey through Bruce Springsteen's discography, ranking every song on every album track by track. We're going in order. We're up to the epic Born in the USA, his 7th studio album. If you haven't seen the other videos, check out the playlist below. You can catch up. I'm going to continue on till I'm done with all 20 of them. Bruce is my all-time favorite solo artist. I don't think this album is his best album, but this is the album I know way better than any other one. This is where I discovered Bruce. I was 13, almost 14 when this came out. This is probably my favorite album of my teen years. I don't know why these songs, looking back, resonated with a 13-year-old. They're awfully adult, like as far as in this the subject matter, but they sure as heck did. I really agonized over this ranking. I do really over all of them. It's really difficult. This one in particular, it's tough, man. It's really tough, especially when you get to the top, but let's get after it. All right, this was nominated for a Grammy, and it had 7 top 10 singles, which is one of the only albums ever to do that until we got into the streaming age where it doesn't really count because the week it debuts a big album, all the singles hit. I'm talking in the old school days of sales and radio when it was really tough to get there. It's also nominated for a Grammy, and it was the first CD sold in America of a wide release. All right, let's get after. There's 12 songs on here. Darlington County comes in at number 12, not because it's a bad song. It's just about Bruce and his buddy. They're driving down to Darlington County looking for work on the county line, trying to pick up some girls. Nice driving riff here. These songs are so different on here, right? And I guess I should have covered that. A lot of these songs are supposed to be on Nebraska, and you can kind of tell the ones that were, so they had an acoustic backing, and then they punched them up with the E Street Band. So, last E Street Band album until The River, by the way, too, all the way in 2002. So it's going to be a while. So we're going to enjoy this one. But yeah, Darlington County comes in at 12. 11, Working on the Highway. These two songs are similar and kind of linked together a lot of times. This one's got a rockabilly beat to it. And it's great writing because he's laying down the blacktop working on the construction crew. And then eventually he's doing the same thing, but he's in prison, right? Because he skips town with an underage girl and he gets caught. So he goes from working on it to working on it, right? On the prison line. So some clever songwriting here. I mean, I don't know if you could really write this nowadays. People get uptight, but hey, I like it. Next up, we got Bobby Jean, probably about Stevie Van Zandt. He's getting ready to leave the band. Him and Bruce had known each other since their teen years. So kind of like that. It has a different kind of rhythm section, almost like I don't know if I want to say a dance groove in Bruce's music, but more dance groove than other things on here. Next up, we got Cover Me. He actually wrote it for Donna Summer, and you can kind of see that in here, but John Landau, his manager, is like, nah, man, it's too good. You got to keep this for yourself. Just like he did on the River album with Hungry Heart. Same thing, Bruce wrote Hungry Heart for the Ramones, but kept it for himself. This one he wrote for Donna Summer and kept it for himself. He Needs a Lover that's got his back. It's just them against the world. It went to number 7, one of those top 10 hits. Next up is I'm on Fire, went to number 6 in the US. This kind of started out, Bruce was just in the studio, like playing the guitar. He had some lyrics to a song Spanish Eyes, which would later resurface on the album The Promise later on. But Roy Baton was on piano, and he heard it. He started playing along, and Max Weinberg on drums. So it's just those three. And they kind of played it along, and that's how the song came about. Just some sexual angst in this one. Everybody loved the video for this one, but definitely a different sound as well than what you're used to from Bruce. Next up, we have Downbound Train. This is a very polarizing song when you research it. One critic said he thought it might be the best song on the album. Another guy, a biographer of Bruce named Dave Marsh, said this was his worst song since his 2nd album. So got all these different things, but I really like it. It's a haunting song. It's got it's a lament to a lost spouse, and it kind of takes you through. First verse, he's working in a car wash. It doesn't work out. It always rains here. Then the spouse leaves him, and at the very end, he's wanting her back. But now he's working on the railroad, back-breaking work. So this keeps getting worse and worse for him on that downbound train. It's so good. It's so well arranged. All right, next up, we have a song that some of you might be surprised I have this high. We got No Surrender. Bruce didn't even want to put this on the album, but Stevie Van Zandt convinced him to. But it's just about friends from high school all throughout life kind of promising themselves they're going to be friends and stick together all their life and really attack life, right, and live it to the fullest. And it doesn't really work out that way as you get older. But, we busted out of class, had to get away from those fools, learn more from a 3-minute record player than we ever learned in school. I think that's a fantastic line. Even though I used to be a teacher in my life, still is. It's just great. All right, we're to the top 5, and we can kind of move these around. I think a lot of these in different order. I think some of you are going to have these in different order. 5, I got I'm Goin Down, went to number 9. NME ranked this as number 4 on Bruce's greatest songs of all time. I would not go that far, but it's fantastic. It's famous because he says down either 77 or 80 times. I counted it once, it got 77. A publication had 80, but it's just the way this song's constructed. The girl is just is not letting him get where he wants to go, right? Every time he's around her, she's kind of rebuffing his advances, although before they were together. And so he just feels like, kind of feels worthless or not wanted, right? So he's going down, down, down. And then these top 4 songs, I rank all these songs from 1 to 10, in different variables, 9.2, 9, to try to get, because I'm going to do an overall Springsteen and rank every single one of his songs when I'm done with this. So these top 4 songs are all 9s or better for me. I'm going to go with My Hometown, went to number 6 in the US, was the last top 10 hit off of this. Just fantastic songwriting, right? Some of it's biographical, some of it's not. And just journeys this guy from being 8 years old, running with a dime on his hand at the bus stop to pick up a paper for someone. We know the story if you're watching this. And advances him through to his adulthood where he's still in his hometown, and him and his wife want to get out because now he has his own kid. Everything goes full circle. It's just such great songwriting. Number 3, some of you are probably going to have this at number 1. I got the title track, Born in the USA. Went to number 9 in the US. It's obviously one of the most misunderstood songs ever. Everybody thinks it's his patriotic anthem. It's really about how the Vietnam vets were treated when they came back. The emotion in Bruce's voice, this one's hard because I've heard it 100 million times. So I was trying to tell myself not to underrate it because I've just heard it so much, but it's absolutely fantastic in my number 3. My number 2, probably not going to be a lot of other people's number 2, but I got to go Glory Days. Went to 5 in the US. Just great storytelling. Again, you just feel it. And me being an older guy, I can actually live through this song now, but the beat of it, it's catchy. It's infectious. Reliving those glory days, talking about how good it was back in the days and how quick time goes. We got a drum roll. Number 1, Dancing in the Dark, among the best Bruce songs of all time. It was the lead single, went to number 2, kept out of number 1 by The Reflex by Duran Duran and When Doves Cry by Prince. Bruce has never had a number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US. He has on the mainstream rock charts, but not on this one. Had more synthesizers, definitely a different sound for Bruce. It sold over 1 million copies. I got a Grammy nom. The video obviously became famous, but this song is absolutely tremendous. All right, there you go, guys. My rankings of the Born in the USA songs. Let me know what you think of this. What are your order down here? What do you think I got wrong? I can take it, man. I can take it. Next up, Tunnel of Love. It's going to come 3 years later. A very underrated album, guys. If you'd like to support us anyway, check out the Patreon link below, the Patreon link on the end screen. We appreciate it, guys. And until next time, I will see you.